Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. Even though I think this kit should be more of a rare release because it was available before, then it somehow disappeared from the sale and now it appeared again. So what I'm doing at the moment, I'm checking what actually has changed in this release, and it looks like this is a completely new version because it will feature slightly different decals from the previous releases. It still comes in a 1/72 scale and it copies MiG-15 fighter. And note that this is a weekend edition kit. It comes in a new box design. We have a beautiful box art here and we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you will see in this video review. And box size, I would say it's typical for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand. And next, on the side here we have some safety information, address of the manufacturer, and also kit number is 7459. And on the opposite side you'll find 4 marking options which are included here, and I would say that's more than enough for such small scale release. So this is a top opening box and here is what we have inside. I can see that frames are packed into several plastic bags, so we are going to open them one by one and check what is actually supplied inside, why this kit should be interesting for all aircraft fans in small scale, obviously. So I'm opening the first plastic bag and there inside we have a clear sprue in the separate Ziploc bag. So here it is, it comes in an interesting circular shape, and there was a time when Eduard was making all clear frames in a circular shape. Well, not anymore, as far as I can see on the previous releases. So here we have Canopy Parts, and of course you will be able to open the canopy on your aircraft, but do not forget that we are dealing with a weekend edition kit, so it means there are no masks included, and in case you would like to cover it somehow, you have to get an aftermarket upgrade from Eduard, which is sold separately. And I would say go for it because it will speed up the assembly process and will make it easier to get a nice paintwork on your model. Now we won't be zooming out, we will check first the zoomed in view of this fuselage. So you can see that both fuselage sections, they are molded together with a tail fin. Rudder is separate and nose section is also separate. Of course, this bottom section with the wheel wells is also separate, but overall molding quality seems to be fine. We have external fuel tanks, this is the engine nozzle. Here we continue with another fuselage half, and external features are also good. We have recessed panel lines and rivets, and also there might be some minor upgrades, so I will show you in a second what I mean. So if I flip over the sprue, you can see here recessed spots in the air brake area, so that's the special preparation for the pressing upgrade. And of course you can, let's say, replicate with help of it the retracted air brakes, which is rather interesting feature in such a small scale, and maybe I'll increase the ISO so that it will be more visible for you. We have some guiding elements inside, so do not worry, it won't be difficult to assemble all this stuff together. And overall, I think this is a really great kit to train your skills. I assembled one, you can find a build review on the website. I was not shooting videos at that time, but there is a, I would say, quite detailed gallery on how this model builds together. Next we continue with 2 plastic sprues which are packed into the separate plastic bag, so just give me a second to take them out. They're slightly smaller, but here we have, for example, wing parts. Each wing side should be assembled out of 2 halves, as you can see, and in my opinion it's rather easy process. Again, if you would like to have retracted flaps, you have to resort to upgrade from Eduard, which is sold separately, but external features, especially considering the size of this model, here is comparison with my fingers, they are really impressive, these features, and I think with some careful painting you will get a really nice result. Note that attachment points there are on the leading edge, so be careful while working with this stuff. And if I flip it over, here inside you can see some guiding elements. Note that ailerons, they will also serve as a guiding element, which is rather smart design, I would say. And of course main wheel wells here, they are also looking good, so maybe with some washes they will look even better. So try your skills and see what you will get as a result. Next we continue with the final gray plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to a mix of various elements. We have both internal and external because, for example, this cockpit, it is combined together with a nose air intake. We have also lower panels for the nose section. And of course some other parts for landing gear and other stuff. So let's zoom in so that you can see what we are talking about. Here you can see one of the cockpit walls and also landing gear wheels. Note that nose landing gear wheel is molded together with the landing gear leg. We continue with various struts for the main landing gear legs. Here is the lower fuselage section in the nose area. That's the cockpit floor. And next we continue with another nose panel version. I guess it will depend on the type of the aircraft you choose. Here is another cockpit wall. That's the really good thing because this is a front ring which comes as a single piece part, and it means you won't have any gaps or seams in this area. Really smart design which should make it a bit more seamless, and of course the final result will only benefit from it. And now I'm opening another plastic bag. Here we have decals. And there are actually 2 decal sheets, which is rather surprising for such tiny model, but well, you will see in a second why we have 2 decal sheets. So first of all, I'm going to start with the smaller one, and of course both decal sheets are printed in Eduard. So here is the smaller one. Let's close the lenses, zoom in. Here we have stencils. Stencils are provided in 2 versions, so you can use either this one or this one, but of course all these tiny writings will be a bit tricky to apply, but I think your model will only benefit from it. And next we continue with a bigger decal sheet. This one, as you can see, features all symbols for main marking options, or let's say main symbols for the markings. And just to remind you, we have 4 markings inside, so this is more than enough, as I said before. Next we continue with assembly manual, so let's zoom out. It's a typical Eduard brochure, and you can see that it comes printed in color. We have short history note on the first page. Next we continue with the parts map, so blue color means that these parts will not be used. Assembly process starts with the cockpit and also pilot seat. Note that decals will be also used for the seat belts, which is a rather cool thing because it will give you a better appearance with no, let's say, expenditure. And here you can take a closer look at them. So here we have dashboard, here we have a seat belts. So really good thing, but of course if you would like to have even more features, you can resort to PE parts, which are sold separately because this is a weekend edition kit. Next we continue with engine nozzle. Here we have instrument panel, so you can use either part with pre-molded dials or decal with a plain part. Then you assemble both wings, and then you proceed with wheel wells. So you should not forget to add some weight. I would recommend to find some flexible weight because, as you can see, this is a quite cramped compartment, so it would be tricky to get some, let's say, ball weight maybe inside. Next we continue with the front machine guns. We have also landing gear wheels and landing gear struts. Here we continue with installation of all this stuff on your aircraft. Then you have to decide whether you would like to open or close the canopy. It will also decide or define the choice of the parts you use on your model. Next are the fuel tanks, and also we have several versions of these fuel tanks. These are 2 first marking options. This one comes from Czechoslovakia 1958. This one is from China, December 1950s. Next we proceed with another one from also Czechoslovakia, September 1955. Another one here from Romanian Air Force, late 1950s. Quite an interesting camouflage, by the way. And then we continue with stenciling position. So here we have Czech stencils, here we have Russian stencils, and that's pretty much all. And these, by the way, are the upgrades which I was talking about. So you can upgrade landing gear wheels, pilot seat, air brakes, flaps, and also some internal elements as well with help of PE parts. So if you're ready to spend a bit more, definitely go for it, because in 1/72nd scale it looks quite impressive. As for today's kit, it should be already available. You can get it on official Eduard website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.